Hello, welcome back to the Woodwork channel. Welcome back to season 3 of the Press Box podcast. For our first episode of the season, we decided to look at Ange Postecoglou and his failing start as Nottingham Forest manager. Now, we recorded this before the weekend's action, before the Chelsea game, and we did think that the match might not go in Forest's favour, but we didn't really realise or think that Ange would lose his job so soon and before this podcast came out. But it's still relevant. We spoke about the failings that we saw towards the end of his time at Tottenham Hotspur and then why he didn't succeed as Nottingham Forest manager. I was your host, George Edwards, joined by Kian Harper, a Forest fan, and Tottenham fans Alfie, Nicholson and Liam Wingrove. So let's get into it. Now, we're recording this the Friday before this weekend's game, so if we somehow beat Chelsea, then this will probably be out date before it even goes out. But oh well. So we'll get on to his time at Spurs in a minute, but let's set it up, Kian, with why Forest fans don't like him, because I've not met a single fan currently that is in his corner. So give me your thoughts about Ange, and then I'll give you mine.
I think when he got appointed, a lot of fans weren't happy. Mm-hmm. I think we wanted a bit more than... Obviously won a Europa League last year, but someone who finished 17th had an awful record in the Premier League with what is a Big Six side. So I already thought he had that against him.
Yeah.
I tried to see past it because I wasn't behind it at all when he was first appointed. But I tried to see past it, see how it could work. More attacking football, it might benefit us. Mm-hmm. You never know. But that transition to Nuno to Ange is just not going to work, is it? It's just so two different styles of football. And it's a tough one, but it's just not working.
No, I agree. And I mean, for the analysis thing that we do, they asked us, are you for or against Ange? And I was one of 4 to say, no, I don't like it. I think we acknowledged Nuno had to go, didn't we, with what he said?
Oh, yeah. Nuno
but the thing about Nuno was nothing was going wrong on the pitch. On the pitch, we were perfectly fine. We beat Brentford 3-1, really, like we dominated
Probably
the ball.
One of the best performances we've
really good.
Ever done.
And Nuno acknowledged that we needed to play with the ball a bit more. So I think he was the guy to progress us on slowly. And then for the club to get rid of Nuno and replace him with Ange, who's completely different, it was just, I thought, and I could see it was going to be a step too far. And I really wanted to be proved wrong, but he's just not. And the other thing, we'll get on to him, his mannerisms, but we've heard his press conference today, and it's all I, me. And the difference was, Nuno and Cooper, it was a collective, wasn't it? It was us. Yeah. It was never about them. Maybe to the fans, Cooper had the fist bumps. Nuno was really good with the fans. But to the media, it was us together, whereas Ange just came in, and I know he's a bigger personality than the other two, and it's more about him than it was, but he just doesn't feel like a Forest manager, King, does he?
No, I think it's always been with Forest, an importance between a manager and the fans is a connection. It's a massive thing. I think it's a lot bigger than people realise, because we saw it with Hugianu as well. He was in a similar situation when we came back from COVID. His connection with the fans wasn't great, and look how that turned out. Some of the stuff he does say is very questionable, though. Even his time at Spurs, I think the way he talks to reporters sometimes is just straight up rude.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you saw it, but he basically called a journalist the other week, sorry.
What, at Forest?
I think it was just some media journalist, like a lost cause, or he could have been a lost cause at some point in his life, and it's just...
Oh, yes, I did see something
Yeah,
like
it's
that,
just... The way he comes across.
And some managers, they make it about themselves to deflect from the players. But he's came in there and been like, this is my show.
I don't also think he's taken accountability at all.
No.
Like, that Midtjylland game where he only made 2 subs, which one was forced.
Yeah.
What? And he doesn't come out and say anything about it. And it's just
it was laughable, though, because the game before, he made too many subs that didn't work, clearly. And it was going well, he changed it, it messed up. The game after, it was clear we needed subs and he made 1, which improved us, and he didn't make any more. But something he said at Forest, which I want to come to you guys about, is he said that he's happy with how the players are playing, but we're not getting the results. So he thinks we're playing well, but we're not getting the results. Whereas I think I remember him saying something at Spurs early on, because you won, 8 out of 10 games to start with? And I think he said something like, we're winning games, but we're not playing how I want to see us play. So talk to me about how Ange came in and the breath of fresh air, if you like, that he was.
Yeah, I think it's different it's ironic almost that Nuno was a manager or 2 before Ange himself, and now it's the reverse at Forest. But I think the point of reference is like particularly important with it in terms of the fact he's taken over mid-season and he's taken over a team and a club at Forest who were on a high, and you sort of felt like you're progressing, whereas Spurs felt like we were on a decline, and it felt like the inverse again. And yeah, I felt like Ange was the perfect personality at Tottenham when he first came in, because you wanted hope. It felt like Conte didn't want to be there at all.
Yeah.
And it felt that you wanted someone like Ange, who was very good. I mean, he seems like he's not being as good at Forest at the moment in terms of galvanising the club and the players together as a unit. He was very good at that at Spurs. And it felt like he wanted to be there, and he sort of was relishing the chance to be at a big club. And we'd been discounted by the media and by our own managers of being that sort of stature of club, and he sort of validated for us. And then the first 10 games were just like outstanding. I mean, the signings he made as well were like the perfect injections of energy and youth and freshness to the club as well. We'd sort of signed Perisic before him, and a lot of players like that who had sort of failed to make a real impact and felt they were just short of the mark, whereas we were signing people like Destiny Udogie and Mickey van der Ven, and them two in particular came onto the scene and they just hit the ground running immediately. I mean, they made the biggest impact in the first 10 games out of anyone, and that's why it sort of dismantled when Udogie got sent off against Chelsea, and then obviously in the same game, Maddison and van der Ven both got injured, so that's 3 of the new signings that made the biggest impact went off straight away. So yeah, I think the point of reference is the biggest thing, really, that it feels like he was taking Spurs upwards and sort of brought everyone with him, whereas now it feels like Forest were going upwards and he's sort of the reason for the decline. It seems that that's how Forest fans feel, but I don't know how you think, Liam.
Yeah, I think obviously I agree with a lot of your points, Alfie. I'm just thinking I may be slightly underplaying on how bad of the position Spurs were in when Ange came in, because we're talking about the signings that were made. Spurs were on the sort of the end of their cycle with the players that had taken us through those close occasions, in the sense of, we were at the end of the time of Hugo Lloris, who was our captain for years. We brought in Vicario under Ange. We'd had fullbacks like Danny Rose under Pochettino, and then Udogie comes in. You're thinking, well, he's probably going to be, obviously now we've seen Jed Spence establish that position more, but at the time, of course. But Udogie came in, and you're looking at him. We were starting to sort of plug the holes that we had lost from the Pochettino era, as naturally as the age. Van der Ven, you're thinking of the likes of Vertonghen and Alderweireld that were so strong for us. But we were in a difficult position, a really, really difficult position. Ange probably was not, no doubt, not the first choice that Daniel Levy had at the time of which, but you're looking at the character, and it was a big one. He came in and hit the pre-season. We said, well, we're going to have some different football, because we had, you could call, success under Antonio Conte in the sense that we finished in the Champions League under him. The next season was a disaster. It was toxic. There was a lot of disconnect.
As well.
But Ange brought that. He brought that together very well, and we had that early success. I think, obviously those first 10 games were fantastic. But after the Chelsea game, you can look at the injuries, big factor. Of course they were. And that season and the season after, big factor. I do think Spurs were found out after those 10 games. Yeah. And I think that is more in a position of him and how he set up. I think it was unfathomable for a lot of teams in the league to have we were looking at Udogie and Porro playing almost number 10 positions. I don't think any team in the league thought that was going to happen.
No.
So we were completely, look how Basuma was flowing, Udogie was coming inside, Porro was having shots from the edge of the D.
Yeah.
And it was just pandemonium. But it was effective because no one was expecting it. Yeah. Then they suddenly realised there's now a lot of space. Spurs looked like they were going to concede on a counter-attack maybe every chance. With anyone with quality, we're talking about, obviously, in that first season, we saw it. Second season, I was there when Spurs lost 6-3 to Liverpool.
Yeah, that was particularly...
it
felt ridiculous.
It did feel ridiculous. Honestly, they had... We know what Liverpool were like, unbelievable quality, And on that particular night... Diaz, Salah, Sobbers, every single time they came forward, and they were coming forward, they'd come forward the whole game. Yeah. Every single time they came forward, we looked like we were in so much trouble.
I think Vicario actually did a good game that game.
Maybe the best player on the pitch.
Did you enjoy that? Because we come from a club that we've always played counter-attacking football. Even in the Championship, Houghton, Lamucci, and then Cooper and Nuno, always counter-attacking. And that's why I think we're so opposed to it, because we've never seen it before and it's not working. Did you like how you were playing, or were you always on edge and thinking it's not worth the risk?
I think that's what's different between the two clubs mainly. Is Forest had that, you said, that DNA, whereas our DNA was almost built on the push and run teams back in the 60s, and then it evolved into Ozzy Ardele's teams, which are all out attack. Yeah. And even more recently, you had the likes of obviously Pochettino, who played that sort of rock and roll football that we like. Everyone in Tottenham are known for. To dare is to do is a motto for a reason. Yeah. That's the ethos of the club. So to come in, I mean, again, if you took it back to basics, I think if you had to pick the most Tottenham manager available in world football right now, you probably would pick Ange.
Yeah.
Because the ideas and the ideology match up so perfectly, whereas perhaps at Forest they don't. But yeah, Spurs fans initially loved seeing it play. And even when it started to dismantle, obviously he had the goodwill from the first 10 games that sort of carried him through. And interestingly, I think his personality carried him through the majority of the second season, which is interesting because it's having the inverse effect currently at Forest, I think. But yeah, fans loved his personality for a little while. But for a long while, yeah, I think the fans were like on board because of the style of play. And you could see at first it did work. Obviously, it waned a little bit, and the feeling was mainly the players missing are too important to carry out the same style. But yeah, there was a belief that the style was fitted to Spurs like a glove. I think the games were just everyone would enjoy it. Even the Chelsea game, I was where I was sat. I don't know about you, but no one was getting angry at us.
No, they applauded at the end of the game.
Yeah, at the end of the game, it wasn't met with boos; it was met with applauds.
Yeah.
Like it was quite notable how much Spurs fans enjoyed how he played initially. Obviously, when it's like loss after loss, then it speaks for itself.
I think there was just some unacceptable results in there. I mean, the Ipswich defeat last season, Leicester. It was the big one. Yeah. These type of results you just cannot accept. I mean, there was genuine fear, I think, when Spurs lost to Leicester that we were actually in a relegation position.
So when did that? Because there must have been a point where you actually started to think, have I got 100% faith in Ange?
I think at the end of 2023. For me, I think at the end, I actually don't think Spurs played particularly well from the end of 2020. I think so. But that is obviously, there was massive problems with injury. I mean, Spurs went to the Etihad with Ben Davies and Emerson Royale as a centre-backs.
But there's also an argument, and I don't know if you agree, do you think Ange created that?
Potentially. Yeah. It's not to say he created the injuries in sense of, but I think there's no, looking at now, I don't know what your injury situation is, but I saw there was problems with Murillo.
It's not as bad as it was with you.
No,
but yeah.
No, but
the thing about Nuno, he had a year and a half, and we had Aina out for a month. Maybe we didn't have a long-term injury, really.
I would say about Ange, it felt like it at Tottenham as well. I think it was last season he rushed players back from injury because there was that game. Was it Romero and Van der Ven both came back?
Chelsea,
and they both got injured.
I think it was last season Chelsea, and there was rumours that one of them was going to be back, and they both came back, and everyone was shocked. And then I think
they both went off at half time.
They both came off at half time,
and that happened with us.
Murillo the other week, wasn't it? At Sunderland, was it?
Yeah,
he came off
after 30 minutes.
Yeah,
after being out, and there's no need to rush a player back. We lost the game. I acknowledge that, but for Sunderland at home, you don't need to rush one of your centres.
No, it might be Midtjylland actually.
Yeah, because it was a back three, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For Midtjylland at home, you don't need to rush back Murillo, do you?
Oh, it's a big problem. We all, everyone can see it. Van der Ven, statistically quickest player in the Premier League history. You could see his legs are gone. As soon as he's sprinting that amount, his hamstrings are going to go. There was no coincidence with that. Yeah. I would be, if we see it now at the end of the season, if Van der Ven is fit the whole season, then you know where the problem lies.
Yeah.
Because there is no doubt that you can correlate the fact that if he's taking less sprints in the game, and he's getting less hamstring injuries, then the style of play change has had an effect. Must have had an effect on the injuries that he got. Some of them unlucky, I think. But
there is the caveat as well that's not reported much outside of Spurs media is that we sacked the whole medical team midway through his second season.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because
so that's the scapegoat then?
Well...
Scapegoat, but I think there's been a big problem. I think even before Ange, you could see that players were coming back and you're thinking...
Did it make a difference?
So far this season, we've been... Dominic Solanke's injury is a bit of a weird one. Same with Kolo Muani.
Kulusevski as well is a weird one.
Yeah, but so far it's been okay. But obviously it's hard to tell and distinguish with a short sample size, and especially on a new manager as well. But yeah, the situation was we kept having these injuries. Then the thing was pointed at Ange, and then you looked online. If you went to LinkedIn, you could apply to be any job in the medical team you wanted to at Spurs.
Really?
The whole thing got revamped. We had the club had an internal review.
Okay.
Sort of the first season, I think Ange was there. Hence why we had a restructure of the directing department. Daniel Levy's left.
Everything.
Medical department's been completely revamped. So a lot of that was structural stuff. So it remains to be seen like how much of it was Ange and how much of it was the Spurs medical department. But I think you'll probably be able to tell more from Nottingham Forest and their injury record over the next few months if Ange is there that long, and see if these injuries keep recurring, and the particular one was the hamstrings, he said, especially with Van der Ven, like it felt like everyone's hamstring was going every month, and everyone was going down all the time. And the hamstrings they're longer injuries as well. It wasn't like little niggles every game. It was consistent.
Reoccurring. The reoccurring ones are the big problems. We weren't having 1 week, 2 weeks. It was 4 weeks. Come back for a week and have another 4 weeks. Yeah. It's impossible. And Ange was, he was in the media obviously saying no other team in the league is dealing with the injuries that we faced. And you can say that.
Yeah, it was true at the time.
It was true. Of course it was true. But I can understand why people would look at it like that, in the sense of how intense his football is and how intense, because everyone was saying it. I mean, it's come out in media with Forest that I think, did Hudson-Odoi say it, that he didn't expect how much work he'd have to do as a winger. We're talking about up, down, first training session, up, down, consistently running.
He doesn't do that work, I can tell you that.
Yeah, well, maybe he's looking after his hamstrings, maybe he's looking after himself in that sense, because, if players are going, these training sessions are really intense, bodies breaking down, players playing, we don't have to talk about players playing more games, we all know the situation in that sense.
Yeah.
But you think if players are playing more games, it's going to have more stress on the body. Well, if you're training at 100%, close to it, whenever you're doing your training, and then you're playing, expected to play at that level, it's going to cause problems. And in the end, it did for Spurs. I don't want to say that it was all Ange's fault, because we had some, like Dominic Solanke got injured 10 minutes into his debut away at Leicester from taking a shot and rolling his ankle. That isn't Ange Postecoglou's fault. Yeah. That was just a freak accident, but you add that to the list of the problems Spurs have. Spurs have had an injury crisis, it must be the training. Not all the time.
Yeah. I want to talk about the pragmatic approach as well, because Newcastle away, so it's his 7th game, and he went to Newcastle, he played a back 5, 3 in midfield, Ryan Yates played. That was not Ange. That was not what we were expecting, and it looked like he went there to try and save his job, and he's done that, and we've heard the conversations. Now, we saw something similar at the end at Spurs, particularly you look at the run-in for the Europa League, the final. It was very different to what he said, who we are. When did he make that change at Spurs?
It's difficult to pinpoint when he actually made that change. It's difficult because he had, we did not see that in the league. Yeah. Whether people will say Spurs didn't try in the league, and from January on, well, we did, because we had to stay in the league to start off with. And, the Europa League was obviously the focus. I think, it's difficult to say when he pinpointed it, but everyone saw the change, and it started really. I think the key one was the Frankfurt game. Frankfurt away was.
How different was it?
Massively. Ridiculously. It was ridiculous. I mean, especially when Spurs got the goal. Yeah. Because, Frankfurt had a ridiculous home record going into the game. I think they were undefeated in a year, or scored in. They were either undefeated in a year or scored in every home game for a year straight. So we knew they were serious. Ekitike had obviously gone on to do great things with Liverpool, big move, and they were a serious side. And tough place to go. We've been there before in Champions League games. We know what they're like. A good club, good European club, and you could see it. Suppose it was just a little bit more. Well, we had to be switched on because we conceded early in the home leg. Ekitike burst through, and we're in trouble. 1-1. I don't know about you, but I thought we were in big trouble.
Yeah, I think I remember watching the game. Yeah, and I went, we finished 1-1. That's us out because the momentum was so poor. So then to see a different approach was actually really refreshing from him at that point. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's come a lot earlier in your tenure, and I think it's interesting that he's played 5 at the back. Although the approach changed, the formation never shifted. No. It was always the same 4-2-3-1 or something adjacent to that. Yeah. And I was really intrigued by Ange in the first season, so I read his biography as well and read a lot of background research on him. Someone at Celtic, a reporter on Celtic at the time, said he would never be seen dead with a 5 at the back. So that is
taken 7 games.
It is extremely I'm so shocked that he went to 5 at the back already with you. Mm-hmm.
And the thing about that is, it's not like we played 5 at the back under Nuno, is it? We were more defensive, but we were still a back 4, 2 in front. Back 5 is something alien to the players as well.
It's the only way we went to a back 5 with Nuno is if we were winning a game and we wanted to see it out.
I'm just trying to think when we saw that. In the semi-final,
I think
definitely in the final.
But that's the last 5 minutes.
Not from the start.
It was never from the start.
No, he went to Newcastle with the sole aim. I think getting a point.
I don't think he would have ever done that at Spurs. No. Perhaps the personnel wasn't there, but he would have never touched a 5 back. Even the Frankfurt game always is 100% when it changed. Because we got the result and everyone was like, right, in Europe, we're a pragmatic side. And
But you
that's
went back,
how we approach
so you went back to the
forward.
Prem and played Ange ball. And then
Yeah, I
you
mean, we
went- so it was
tried to.
completely different.
Yeah, we tried to. It was a disaster.
I mean, that baffles me because if it's working for you in the Europa League, surely you'd try and keep that form going in the Prem.
It did feel a bit
No?
like it was his secret hand to play because he was so
Right.
known for being, it's who we are, mate. And
Yeah.
The impression from the media sort of helped it build around the fact that this is just how we're going to play. I remember listening to the build-ups to the Europa League final, and people were like, well, we know how Spurs will play. And I was thinking, we don't.
No, you
Yeah.
don't.
If you look in Europe,
How we've got here is different.
yeah, but I'm not sure if he deliberately did withhold his hand for that. I think the only games, even Bodo Glimt at home, he played expansive, and we
Yep.
obviously scored the goals early on, and it sort of opened up the tide for us to be dominant. But the away game, he played pragmatic again.
Yeah.
So he only played pragmatic probably 3 times. Frankfurt away, Bodo away, and the final itself.
Yeah.
And it paid off literally every single time. So I was wondering when we didn't do it in the league, where he thought we knew we were safe, realistically.
I'm just thinking also that we never actually done that Anfield away. You know, when we were
No,
1-0 up
yeah.
in the Cup, because Spurs were 1-0 up in
Yeah.
the semi-final in the League Cup,
Yeah.
and you're going to Anfield away. I remember there was a big blow. We thought Van der Ven would be back, and then he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
out, and we were like, oh, we're in trouble here. We had the 1-goal advantage, and you're always thinking, I mean, it's so difficult to park the bus against Liverpool because of the quality they have. If they get 1, it could be about 9. They destroyed us anyway. They were from minute 1.
Yeah.
But we didn't try and set back. We didn't sit back and play the way that we did, especially again. Frankfurt, I think, was at its most extreme. I think obviously when we got to, went 1-0 up in the final against United, we saw it. Danso comes off. That was, I think, the only time I've ever seen Spurs play a 5-back under Ange in the sense of how long we were playing it for. Romero, Van der Ven, Danso, Spence, all of them.
Just basically everyone back.
Everybody,
Yeah.
and obviously Basuma and Bentancur sitting in front. There was, we didn't care
Yeah.
about the attack then. Just hold on.
Did you ever lose faith in Ange?
I think if you're inside, yes, but I never said it. I always tried to. It's mates and other Spurs fans, let's just keep going.
Right.
Let's just keep
Yeah.
going because I think I was. A big turning point was obviously Leicester.
Yeah.
I do genuinely, and I actually think if you go on, social media and you look at the big sort of Spurs content creators online, and you see their match reaction to Leicester, then there's a lot of them that say I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone today.
Right.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think personally, I was pretty supportive of him all the way towards the end. Even when he won the trophy, I was sort of like maybe keep him on for the next season. But I remember sitting in the Leicester game, and I mean Southampton you can always discount. So barring that, Leicester were the worst team in the league. They were in an awful run of form. I think they was under Van Nistelrooy. They won their first game and then hadn't won for 9.
Yeah.
It felt like the perfect match. If you had to select a match to get a win, other than Southampton, you'd have done that one.
Yeah.
And then it was at home, and the performance as well was just so.
Yeah.
It was so un-Ange. It just dissolved and fell apart so easily.
Yeah.
And when the second goal went in, I remember just standing there like, if we can't beat these, what are we actually going to do?
Yeah, it was so doom and gloom. It was terrible.
I think that's where it felt like there was no way back. That it felt like that was the ideal route back to on track. We had it even in the first season. We had that really poor month when we lost. It was at Arsenal and a lot of big losses in a row. I think we lost to Chelsea again, and it was sort of mounting up. And it was like, right, we need to turn this around soon. And then we did. We started picking up to the end of the season. We started getting our wins back. The players came back, and it felt like we were building again. And the Leicester game felt like that was the perfect route back in, and then it just fell away again.
I think it's interesting actually looking at the start of what was last season. Spurs draw to Leicester on Monday Night Football. That
First game was
first game. And Spurs. I remember we went away to Newcastle, and I actually thought we played well. I thought we were unlucky.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Spurs were really good, really, really good. Had good chances. I think Odebear missed quite a good chance, and Spurs actually looked all right. We lost to Arsenal. Okay, lost to Arsenal. It's not a nice
Even
feeling.
that game wasn't even a bad performance.
No, there was not many bad performances. And then the injury came in, big injuries come in, and it derailed us again. And the players started coming back. I remember Jamie Carragher saying that Spurs weren't great even before the injuries, which I can agree to, because when we lost to Ipswich, I think.
Most
I remember Dragusin starting at centre back, so either one of either one of Van der Ven or Romero was out.
Yeah.
But apart from that, Vicario was still playing. A lot of the big players were playing in the attacking sense, and to lose that, I mean, that was a bad performance. They destroyed us.
And the thing about that at Forest, we've had that far too often. We played well. Real Betis away. I don't know if you guys watched or anything. First Europa League game, first half. That was the best half of football I've ever seen. Sorry, sort of Jack Betis for you, Kian. But that's Go on, do you want to say?
Well, I'll try and keep it brief.
I was already in Seville drinking pints.
I had a flight on the day of the game at 6 a.m. at Stansted. There was a fire at Stansted.
Ticket, hotel.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember
yeah,
this. Yeah,
and then no one on the flight, and it left on time and didn't make it.
So I'd be gutted. But
I did want to mention something about Ange. Obviously, I am Ange out at this point, but I do like to look at the other. I do like to see the other side of it. If we made the decision in pre-season and he got a pre-season, it could have been a bit better because you'd get the ideas across a lot more.
And Nuno only really succeeded at Forest.
Yeah, I've always said that. Douglas Luiz, I think, is a massive factor to how we play because it was that Betis game.
Yeah.
I think we're a different side when Douglas Luiz plays.
Well, I think we've played 3 good halves of football: Swansea, Betis, and Burnley. And first half, he played all 3 of them, didn't he? And I think he's only played another half of football after that.
And also, I would say that with Ange coming in, he's not really had a chance to be training with the players consistently because we've had game after game.
Yeah, it's hard.
And he came in, was it midway through that international
It wasn't even
break?
at the start of the international break.
Yeah,
it was
and
midway
then,
through, and then we had Arsenal away.
And then obviously we've had this international break, so Chelsea could be a bit different, but most of the key players were away on international duty, so is it going to be any different? Probably.
But what worries me is the fact he is saying, I'm seeing what I want to see. Because we're at the games thinking this is poor. I mean, we had 22 shots in both games against Midtjylland and Sunderland. But I was sat there, I never thought we'd score. I don't know about you. I was thinking, I can't see us scoring. We had 22 shots on goal. He says that's good. I never felt we'd score. Whereas last season, we could have 6 shots in a game. Yeah, I always thought we were a threat. When we got that ball out wide, Elanga beat a man, I was always excited, whereas I didn't get that. Let's just look at some stats. So Ange, people are asking why people are against him so early on. He's lost more games than any other manager in Europe's top 5 leagues in the league this calendar year. And he didn't even start the season at Forest, so he's had, 4 games off there. He's also had the worst start of any Forest manager in the last 100 years. Fell into any of his first 6 games, and since that stat came out, we've lost another game since then. So it's the messaging for me. It's the fact that he's happy with what he's seeing, yet we are so poor, we look so out of place, and I just can't see where it gets better from here.
Yeah, I can't see it either. I mean, personally, I just have a feeling we'll win tomorrow because it's the most Forest thing ever.
Now we're slagging him off.
Yeah, it's the most Forest thing ever. We'll win tomorrow.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, it's just not working, and he's already got that disconnection with the fan base. I imagine you both saw the Midtjylland game. Forest fans were singing Sats in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were at Newcastle because I didn't go to the game.
There were sections. It was mainly the home fans, but there were sections of the Forest fans.
I never like singing that to a manager.
Did you sing it?
Yeah.
Kian, you bottle job.
I never liked. But that Midtjylland game, my head was.
That's unbelievable. Did you sing the Nuno song as well?
No, because I've lost all respect for Nuno.
Okay, yeah.
For how he left.
But do you guys think that maybe the disconnect is that it's obviously some of it is Ange and the performances, but also how frustrated you are with how the situation's been held with Nuno in the sense that you said earlier that you weren't doing that bad on the pitch, and then he's sacked. We know the outside reasons. Is it almost a little bit harsh on Ange in the sense that he's come into already a bit of a toxic situation?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the sacking of Nuno made it toxic. It certainly wasn't toxic before, but because there had to be a change, it immediately got everybody offside. Because whether it was Ange or somebody who was playing a different style of football, it wasn't Nuno. And because we were so invested in him, and because Ange comes in straight away and he's always talking about Tottenham. He referred to in his first press conference as we, Tottenham, and then when he was talking about Forest, said you. So immediately you're a bit like, you're at Forest now. And we were saying, weren't we, that most managers come into Forest, and it's a cliche, and you hear it all the time, but they say it's such a historic club, European trophy, stuff like that. We've not heard a smidge of that from Ange, have we? I've not heard him say that. And, we don't want him to come here and lick our asses or anything, but we want you to acknowledge who we are, and I don't think he's done that.
I mean, I would say with the whole Nuno stuff, I think anyone coming in was almost in an impossible situation to get the fans on board, unless it was someone like a club legend. Me personally,
and they had to win games.
Yeah, me personally, I wanted Marco Silva the whole time. Yeah. It might have been a difficult one to get.
So difficult.
Obviously, you get your Iraola and Glasner shots. That was never going to happen.
No.
Never going to happen.
Pochettino mentions that.
Yeah, and he's got a World Cup coming up, and it's and even recently the name for Ange's possible replacement is Sean Dyche. I don't know how you feel about it personally.
What do you think? I say. What
Oh,
I think.
we know what you feel about
thing
it.
is-
I think you have a better chance.
Thing
sticking
is,
out
right,
than Ange.
I'm not fully against it.
Not yet.
If it meant we could get Marco Silva on a free in the summer, because obviously he'll be out of contract at Fulham, I can kind of get behind it. And have you ever seen Sean Dyche with a squad calibre like we do? And he'll get Chris Wood scoring again.
I think it's too early for it. I think if we're in,
Oh,
if
I
next
understand
season,
that. Yeah.
If we get to like you guys, we're 17th. I think the relegation battle's far more competitive this year than it was last year or the year before.
Yeah, I agree.
So if we're looking like we could be in a relegation battle, Sean Dyche is your perfect man. I think he'd comfortably get us out of it. But you can't do it yet.
So
because that just sends a message that we're in a relegation battle to the players.
So if
You can't afford to do that.
if Ange was sacked after this Chelsea game or the Porto game, whenever it is, who would you want? Because there's
That's
not
the
there's
thing,
not
there's
many
nobody.
options.
Yeah, it's
There's
not
no.
good.
No.
And we're not in a position now to get Glasner or Area
I think
or Silva,
in
which
terms
we could have before.
in terms of the free agent market, your probably best option is
Klopp?
Terzic, the one who's at Dortmund.
No?
But
No,
he's at one of the Red Bull clubs. One of
yeah,
the-
yeah,
yeah,
the advisories.
yeah.
But
Yeah, but like I said, I think the best free agent manager option at the minute is Terzic, but he's only really had one job. Granted, he got to a Champions League final, which is
Yeah.
very impressive, but he's been out of a job for a year. There's got to be a reason he's out of a job for
he's
so
not been picked
long.
up for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, these top managers get picked up pretty quickly.
Right, we've run over. I'm glad Ellie's not here because she'd have been shouting at me because it was meant to be 20-minute segments, run half an hour.
Oh, well.
I just want your thoughts on how it's going to end. I personally think if we get battered, if we lose 5-0 to Chelsea, if we lose 5-0 to Porto, he'll be gone. I think if not, I think we'll keep losing. I think he'll lose his job in the next international break, and then we'll probably go for somebody like Dyche. That's how I see it happening. What do you think here?
I think he'll be gone after Porto because like I said, I have a feeling we'll beat Chelsea, but I think we'll lose, like realistically. And then Porto, probably the toughest home game out of the lot. They're a good side on a really good run in Portugal. Yeah, so I think he'll be gone after the Porto game. We'll have an interim for Bournemouth, and then we see what happens with the appointment.
Now, and when I spoke to you two earlier, you both had different opinions about how you thought it would end. So, far away.
Well, I think he'll be sacked. I think he'll be sacked. To be honest with you, you know, it's with Spurs. It should have happened, but we're grateful it didn't.
Yeah,
you know, in the sense
nice.
of that, we're very grateful it didn't. But I think the pressure is too much. I really do, and I think, you know, that it's even worse in the sense of how toxic it is with the Forest fans than ever it was with the Spurs. I think Spurs had genuine belief that we, with the quality of players that we had and the quality of competition, Europa League, that we could go and win the entire thing.
Yeah.
I don't think you have it.
No, but I agree with that. Yeah, Alfie.
Oh, I'll stick up for him. I think you touched it on Douglas Luiz. The way Ange has always played is very much like a house of cards. If you have the right things there and piece it together, it will explode and become extremely good to watch. You'll get good results. We had it 3-0 away at Man United. I know they were on the decline at that point, but the performance was outstanding away from home. Obviously, the Man City result away from home as well. And there was numerous nights under Ange where it all clicked, even Villa away towards the end of his first season. There was many performances where everyone was there. You had the right piece of the puzzle and it just clicked. And I wouldn't be so quick to write him off so early. I wouldn't be 100%. I mean, obviously, it's coming out after the Chelsea result, so I might look stupid. But I wouldn't be surprised if it all started to click into place, a little bit more time with the players, and he gets a big result. And I know he hasn't shown it much at Forest so far, but he does have a really strong way of galvanising the fans and the team together with his words after matches. I know he's sort of...
He's got to win.
I know, exactly.
Well, as long as he doesn't come back to Spurs and win, I don't mind.
I can just see it in a world where he beats Chelsea in a really impressive manner, for example, or Porto, even a game like that. If you come out and you show that you can play it under him in the way he wants to play, and after games, I mean, there were so many games after them when he'd speak and it'd feel like we're the best team in the world. Because the way he'd come across to the fans and the players and say, this is the right track, we're building something here, I always win things in my second season, we're going to win something. And just the way he comes across filled a lot of Spurs fans with belief. And I wouldn't be so sure that doesn't happen again with Forest. But as I said, it is a house of cards. And if one of them gets pulled away, then it could all come tumbling
I think
down.
what also contributes to it is that you've had Mourinho, Conte, big characters, and like I said at the top, this is alien to us.
Yeah.
His latest soundbite was, "At my previous clubs, it ends with me winning a trophy." Now that might be something you guys would love to hear. Me and you, it has rattled because
I'm
that's not
happy.
something a Forest manager says.
But-
and I think it's because we're not used to it.
At the same time, if he beats Porto, and he reiterates it. It's so, if the reporter says it always ends with you in a trophy, what do you think? And he says, it's going to happen. Then you're all going to be bought in. I'm not going to say how you think.
For me though, I don't care about trophies at the minute. I want to win football matches.
Yeah.
I don't.
But if
I'm not looking at trophies.
You're going to care about the
Oh
trophy.
yeah, of course. But like right now, my thing is win football matches.
And we can't
do that.
We've got Leeds at home in 3 weeks' time. I'm not confident we'll win that. Are you?
No, but if he wins against Porto and then he gets asked that question and turns around and says, "No, I don't think we're going to win it, mate.
Absolutely.
I don't think we're going."
Yeah.
You're then going to be going, "Well, that's not what a Forest manager says. So how can he win?" In that sense, he has to say it.
Yeah.
He has to say
I
it.
agree, but he's not done anything here to back up what he's saying yet.
Yeah,
And
I think
I don't like.
That's why we're talking hypothetically.
Interesting to see if he does start getting results and he keeps saying them sorts of quotes.
Then yeah.
I think the fans will soon be galvanised by it, and
But he's lost them, and it's a long.
I mean, it is the most.
long way.
It is the most
football
Forest.
fans are fickle.
It is the most Forest thing ever. Fans sing a manager out, and then he goes and wins a trophy.
Yeah,
And that's
that'd be
probably
brilliant.
is the most Forest thing ever.
Right, right, thanks, guys. We're going to have a quiz segment to into the next round. Hello, welcome back to segment 2. Now, apparently, I messed up the introductions in segment 1, so we're joined today by Alfie and Liam. Do you want full names?
Yeah.
Alfie, Nicholson, Liam, Wingrove. Where can we find you guys? If anybody wants to follow you, I don't think they will.
Well, find us on both of us on LinkedIn. Liam Wingrove, various social medias. Liam Wingrove Instagram, doing a lot of the football commentary and stuff like that.
Yeah, Alfie Nicholson journalism on Instagram, Alfie Nicholson media on TikTok, and then everything else. It's just put my name in. I'll probably be there in some form.
Kian, do you want to do some plugs as well?
Yeah, I've got quite a few.
There
Obviously, I've got my TikTok. I think it's Kian Harper 05. I actually don't know the name of it. Produce a lot of Forest content. Also, may as well plug the Blue Podcast Network while I'm at it.
We'll put expletives over it.
You're gonna believe it. But no, we're another podcast. So
Okay, so we're going to do a Forest and Spurs related quiz. I'll hand over to our quiz master, so you can introduce yourself properly.
Iosif, he's a Chelsea fan, but we'll just
I think
put that under the carpet. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but yeah. Bit annoyed with the Spurs fans, but yeah, I mean, it's a Forest Spurs quiz. Right, first question for you guys.
We're going to go teams, so we'll answer a question. We get it wrong, we'll hand over to you.
Wait, can we discuss it then?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's
Right.
right. By the way, he was petrified, Liam.
Yeah.
Doing the quiz.
I'm actually shaking under the table.
It's like, no, I'm not doing the quiz.
I'm not-
Alfie's doing the quiz.
Yeah,
Alfie's doing the quiz. I'm not doing the quiz.
I'm sticking.
He's now playing that team game.
Yeah, it's a team game. This guy.
Once you heard the word team. Yeah,
I'm there.
Right, first question. Which current Spurs player was on loan at Forest during their promotion to the Premier League?
Oh,
That's quite easy.
I'm not sure about that. Go on, Kian.
Jet Spence.
Correct.
Imagine it was wrong.
Brennan John.
Right.
I just cut it and
Go
we
to
read
them
it.
now, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Next question. Former Forest player and Spurs fullback Jed Spence's buy option from his loan at Genoa in 2024 was not taken up by the Serie A club. How much was the fee?
Is it point?
Great question, Will.
Is it something point? Can we ask that? Is it? Or is
You
it
can go to the nearest mill if you want,
Okay.
if that's on there.
Yeah.
I think it's 8.5.
I'll just say it's 8. I think it's
8.5.
what? Yeah, but then there's that
Yeah.
9 or not.
Right. Or
Well, just say it and I'll decide whether you can get a point.
Okay, I
I think-
8 million. Yeah.
I think it's 8.5.
8, yeah.
answer is 8 million euros.
Yeah, you can. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
We're getting a
We're having
thumbs
it,
up.
have
Yeah,
that.
we're
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
We'll give that. Right.
Conversion rate.
yeah.
It's actually 6 million.
Next question. How many current Premier League managers have managed both Spurs and Forest?
Ange?
No.
No, he's not current. Oh, yeah, he is.
Oh, don't bottle it, George. Don't bottle
Who
it.
else? Surely that's it. There's no other former Forest
Oh, no.
managers.
Are you saying current managers?
Current Premier League.
It's saying current Premier League
There's no other
I
managers.
think you're missing one.
Ex-Forest. There's no other ex-Forest managers in the league, is there? Are we being
I
stupid?
don't think there is.
Well,
Who's gone up? Like Leeds, 9.
No.
Who else went up?
Well, let's go back in our managers. Coops, before Houghton, no. Lamucci, Karanka, they're all not there.
Yeah.
They're not. It's only two.
Yeah, two.
Two.
Correct.
Thank you.
Nuno and Ange.
I think
Don't
we-
you think that?
That's an easy question. We've been given a
Basically, he's
transfer fee.
Hey, you still
And
got
you
it
got it
right.
right. So
How many managers? This is unbelievable.
let's wait till the end before we
Yeah,
start
okay.
moaning.
Yeah, it's easy questions in my opinion, but Number 4. How many goals did Harry Kane score against Forest for Spurs?
What is
These questions.
Right, so we shouldn't work it out. So I remember he got 1 in his final season, I think. And then
the second.
he got 2 in his final season because do you remember the kit with the yellow and the blue?
Yep.
He scored a header in that.
Yeah, and he missed a penalty that day as well.
Yeah,
didn't
so that's 2.
he? Did he score 2 in that game?
And then he scored 1 in the reverse fixture, I think.
I know he's definitely scored another one.
No, Richarlison scored.
No, not in the game, but another one at City Ground.
Where?
I think he.
Oh, what, in the all-white kit under
Yeah.
the Conte. Okay, so that's 3.
Okay, we'll see what they say.
In home games.
But then Forest haven't been up since then. And then
What was the question?
How,
Away.
how many goals did Harry Kane score against Forest for Spurs? So it
Not
doesn't matter if it's home
home-
or away, so
Wait,
in both.
I thought he said that.
unless
away.
it's some weird question where we paid.
So
him-
since Forest have come up, how many goals has Harry Kane has scored?
and unless we paid him in the cups.
Yeah,
Which
I
we
think
think
we
we
played
have.
them. in the
Again,
cup, but we
how many
didn't
goals
lose.
has Harry Kane
Okay.
scored
No, but in
for
the League
Spurs
Cup
against
before they
Forest
came
since
up.
they've come up?
Okay. I think it's basically 3 because
I'm trusting your judgment.
the last season he played for us was the one with the yellow and the blue.
We're gonna get a countdown thing coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go on, you. Say,
I'm just not
back
sure.
it.
I think he did score.
Should I pressure them for a
I
countdown?
think.
No,
Should go for
yeah, I'm happy with what you. I honestly, I'm not too sure, so I'm happy with
Do
what
you
you've
think
got.
he scored an under Conte? He must have got 1. Yeah.
I just you say what you want
Should
to
we
say.
go for 3?
It goes.
If you say you can say it's wrong, but don't give the. If it's wrong, don't give the answer.
Don't we?
Well, no,
It's wrong.
I want to think about it first.
Okay.
It's wrong, so we'll go
He
to you.
scored 2 in the league at our place
Yeah,
first
and
season.
then scored
he scored 2
Yeah.
the year after.
But I think we played them in the Carabao Cup or EFL Cup in 2015.
First time.
They won
Missed the hat.
3-1, and I have a feeling he
This
scored that
question's-
So
day.
he wasn't out on loan then at Millwall.
No,
unless
no,
you think he was playing
because
for
it was
them.
the season he scored. It was the
That's
season.
not.
I
Well,
don't know if he
it's
scored in that.
definitely 4. If it's not, it's definitely 4. So
I think
I'm going to
I-
leave it to you if you think it's 4 or 5.
I think it might be 5. I think he scored in that cup game.
Yeah, it's on you if we get it wrong. Go on.
I'll go 5.
The answer is 6.
Take that.
other one?
Take that.
What's the other one?
He must have. We must have played you in the Carabao Cup or FA Cup.
No, we
before you
only
came
played.
up.
It
we only
must have
played him
been.
the once.
And he didn't score out of lane, did he?
In the cup one, I think he
No,
did.
but in the Prem first season, I don't think he scored.
No, he scored a brace.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's get on the next question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going off the answers I've got here.
We've had a bit of a robbery.
Yeah.
Let's
It's,
think of a hard one, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to you now.
Who's Forest's manager?
Probably Steve Cooper. How many times did Brian Clough beat Tottenham while he was manager at Forest?
Bloody hell.
But we have an A, B, or C.
Thank God.
A, 28, B, 38, or C, 48.
Right. Okay. So.
I feel like
so-
I'll let you have this.
Right. So let's say it was 70. When did we go up? 77.
Thing is,
We won the
I'm not
league.
great
Won
with
the
it.
league 78. So 77, 78
And
was
then
the first
79,
year.
80 was
Last
European
year. So last year was 93. So how many years is I can't do math. 77, 87. That's 15 seasons.
And
right?
that's be playing them twice. at
Twice
least.
plus some of the cup
Cups.
games.
Wait, what was the options?
A, 28,
28, 38, 40.
yeah.
Yeah.
B,
I think
38,
that'd be-
C, 48.
I was going to go 28 because we've played them 30 times in the league.
Yeah.
How much in the cup would we play them? And then to have beaten them that many times, I think it's 28.
Yeah, 28.
28.
Wrong.
I mean,
Go
that's
on.
not fair. Them having a
Well, I thought it was that because your years must
I
be
thought
off.
it was 28.
yeah. Well, so you're going to say 38 then, aren't you?
Yeah, we-
Well, you just.
I'll be honest, I'm even surprised with this
Hey,
answer.
you can't say that. You can't say that.
That's just giving it then. That's just
It's
giving
going to be
the answer.
48.
48.
Wrong. 38.
Oh,
Okay.
it's-
Oh,
Love that.
and a bottle job there.
I didn't even mean to do that, but
He called in. He's playing God. He can't be doing that.
6.
Try that
We're up,
questions,
we're up,
Alfie.
we're
Come on. Keep
Yeah,
your head.
you
What's
next.
the score? 2-1.
Yeah.
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 Who has more British players in their first team squads? Forest or Spurs?
We didn't have many because we're pushing the.
We
We don't have many.
If they get it wrong, we've
Yeah.
got a few
Well,
points.
we'll go 3, 2, 1 and say the answer at the same time because it's not fair if.
How? It's our question.
Oh yeah, true.
So
You get it
If
wrong.
you get it wrong,
we're
we
not going
get
to take
the
a point.
Oh.
no, how is that fair?
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh,
No, that's
Th-
not.
this is
No,
your
every-
If you
question.
get it wrong, yeah.
This is literally just who has more.
We don't have many in our squad because we've had to leave out players. I I think so, but I think they also left out. They left out a new signing. They had to leave out Hutchinson.
Yeah.
That's tough.
You know what? Let's just.
Let me just think. You can use Spurs players and just get the rough number. Do you think it's Spence, Austin?
No, I think it's them.
Spence, Austin. Is it UK or English?
Says British.
Okay, so
UK.
Davies.
Yeah. Counting British.
And then there'll be Nico Williams for them. I think it's Forest. I think it's got to be Forest.
Yeah, we'll go with Nottingham Forest.
We think it's you.
Yeah, we think it's Spurs.
The answer is Tottenham with 8. Forest have 7.
Oh, that's so close.
Yeah, I think
we
you
should get that
you
point
missed
right.
out.
So it is close.
I think you missed out like Archie Gray and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Right.
It's a Lanky, I guess.
So still 2-1.
They're all injured.
Yeah.
3-1 in our minds.
Yeah.
7. I think it's going to you now.
Yeah.
Which current Nottingham Forest player has scored the most goals versus Spurs across their career?
It's got to be Wood, surely. And who else is it going to be?
Yeah, because Wood scored there last year. Anderson did.
It's either him or
Hello.
Cal. It's him or Cal.
It's got to be Woody. It's got to be Woody. Can't think because most of our players aren't exactly established.
No.
For
And
years,
Cal hasn't
apart
scored
from-
against Spurs for us, has he? Wood he scored at their place last... No, he didn't. I think it's got to be Wood. Let's just...
Yeah, Wood.
Correct. Chris Wood
Sound.
got 5.
3-1?
Yeah.
Right.
We'll take a
8.
nice question at this point.
Oh my God. Which former Barcelona player snubbed Brian Clough's Forest
Oh, I know
to
this.
join Spurs in 1989?
Yeah.
Which form?
Oh, say that again?
Is it
Do you want me to repeat it?
Please.
1989?
Which former Barcelona player snubbed Brian Clough's Forest to join Spurs in 1989?
Gary Lineker.
Yeah.
Mr. Big A's.
Correct.
3-2?
9. Which player got sent off in the 2-0 win for Spurs against Steve Cooper's Forest?
Oh, it's late, wasn't it?
I think
Go on then.
Oh, Basuma.
Yeah.
Basuma.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4-2?
Wow.
All right. 10. Which club is older, Forest or Spurs?
Yeah, you're right.
You don't know when they were established.
I know when we were established. I don't know when they're established at all. Don't say when we were because they'll know when they are.
We know the answer. Well, I'm
My assumption
hoping...
would be Notts County aren't they the oldest ever club ever? So maybe it's a Nottingham thing.
Could be. I'm sorry.
We're quite early in terms of the grand scheme of clubs, but it wouldn't surprise me if Forest are quite early as well.
I mean, it's one of those where they're not going to
Should
get
just
the
go
point if
for
they.
it.
So,
Well, them knowing it must mean that they're really old. It's my assumption.
no, but it's
Because I don't think
whether
they know
think
when we were founded. I don't think they'd know.
No, but that doesn't mean anything because
Mind
they,
games.
they might just look at him.
He doesn't it. He wouldn't say it.
Yeah, you know what? I think we'll go Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
1865 on me.
82.
17 years older, yeah.
I mean, we're the third oldest professional club behind Spurs.
See, I knew it'd be something like that.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they meant-
Well,
Right.
you might have
Say
actually
you
just
knew
given that away
otherwise.
by saying how
Yeah.
much you knew.
Yeah,
He had to get
I was
one.
like- I was
Yeah,
like,
but
we're level
you
now,
can't
aren't
say
we?
that.
What is it now? 3
We're 4-3, isn't it?
No, we're up. We're level now, aren't
No, I thought
No,
we
it's
got
4-3.
No, it's 4-3, yeah.
4-3.
Yeah,
we?
4-3.
Yeah,
I was
discount,
correct. Yeah.
discount.
and this is our question.
Right, number 11. When do Forest and Spurs play? Next play each other in the league?
It's the
I looked this
14th.
up.
Right.
14th of December.
I've got A, B, and C here.
What?
Yeah,
14th of December.
yeah, just let
How
me
is it all
just be
it's A, B, and C for them?
Don't
No,
ask me.
Get scrap that. Give them 10 last the day. That's unbelievable.
You can't.
It's going to give it away now, isn't it? If
Right.
you have an idea,
Are the dates...
the dates are going to give it away.
Well, it's the 14th of December. It's around then. Is that one of the options?
No, don't even give that.
No,
What shall I say?
Shall
I say the
Oh.
options?
It'll come up
It's
that
gonna be
way.
a
Shall I say the options?
Yeah,
I think that. Yeah.
A, 14th of November.
Okay.
B, 14th of December.
Okay.
Or C, 14th of January.
Okay, well, I'd have got that without the options anyway.
So for,
Yeah, I did.
14th of December.
Yeah.
If it was like 14th, 15th, 16th, we might have slipped up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5-3?
12.
Need this.
Well, 12th question. Forest narrowly avoided playing in the UEFA Conference League this season, but what season did Spurs play in the competition?
It was under
Yeah.
Nuno, so it was.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah, it was. It was Nuno then
yeah,
Conte, so it
yeah.
was 2020, 21. Is that right? That is right. No,
No,
it's 21,
22.
22.
I think, yeah.
Correct.
That's
Because
Because Conte got
5-4, yeah.
November 2021.
Yeah.
Next. Which club has won more FA Cups?
It's them. It's them.
it's got to be.
Yeah, we've won 2, they've won 4.
Yeah.
Spurs.
It is
They
Spurs.
robbed
But
us
we've
in
not
the
won
final.
4. We've won more than 4.
Yeah, you're wrong with
Oh,
that.
right.
They've won 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not
fair
saying
We need it.
They robbed us 91.
Yeah, you helped us. Hope that comes
I
up.
just-
Won't be happy.
14. Which club won the FA Cup first?
Well, I know what years ours was.
Really? No, we were the first non-league team to win it.
I think it's Spurs.
Yeah.
I think it's Forest.
You're incorrect. It is Forest.
When did they win it?
1898.
1898, yeah.
we
You
won,
won-
we won 1901.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, okay, that's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate.
So it's still 5-4.
6-4.
6-4.
Yeah, it was 6-4 after that last question.
Oh, wow. I can't count.
Those ones-
This is still in the next few.
Yeah, it's
basically.
tough.
So if we get this, we win, do we? What
Yeah.
was this?
Yeah, but we can go to the end.
6-4,
Just
yeah.
for knowledge.
Right.
Prove that.
Question 15. Which Nottingham Forest player scored an extra time own goal to help Spurs win the 1991
Oh
FA
my
Cup?
goodness. I mean, might as well give them the win.
Yeah.
That is an absolute
Forest-
joke.
I didn't know it.
Which Nottingham Forest player scored an extra time own goal to help Spurs win the 1991
I said that,
FA Cup?
that before.
Des Walker.
Yeah. Correct.
Come on.
That is
Like
the
weighted in the
biggest
questions
low
a bit
ball.
favourable.
No, to be
Yeah.
fair,
Did you
I
know
didn't
that?
I knew
Yeah,
that.
To be fair, I didn't know it.
That is
Yeah,
a.
yeah.
Should we go with the last question?
yeah.
Just for a bit of
I
fun.
bet it would be. I bet it'll be easy now. Like,
This can be worth 2 if you want.
Should we do that?
robbed. Yeah, might as well.
still lose.
Robbed.
Yeah. Right. Which,
Left 3 if you're
which came first? Son's move to Spurs or Marinakis taking over the Forest board?
I don't know when he took over, really. I know when Son joined.
I mean, this is just a joke. This is the most Forest biased question I've ever seen.
Be careful
I
how
have
you-
nothing to do with the setting of these questions.
George- it's got
if you
George's
think
name
about-
on the
think about
top.
it logically.
Be careful how you talk about Marinakis, probably.
Yeah.
Mr. Marinakis
There you go.
Much better.
must have. What?
Well, it doesn't. Why are we even discussing it? We might as well just say an answer now. We're not going to win. So we might as well
I
just say.
think
Go on, you say what you want.
Get the point for pride. Go on.
No, we don't need no pride. Just say.
I don't know how long he's been there at all.
No, so let's go Son.
You're right.
Yes.
Yeah,
7
you're correct.
No,
yeah.
Marinakis was
2017.
on 16.
2015.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
There we go.
well done, Kim. Good work. Unlucky guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're going to have a break and then we're going to talk to Liam about something very exciting that he got up to over summer. Hello and welcome back to the press box after our sensational quiz win. Let's pick Liam up. So, Liam, just talk to us. So, UCFB, obviously, if they fund the woodwork, we're all UCFB students, and you had a very exciting opportunity over summer. So, talk to us about it.
Yes, I had the opportunity to fly out to Sofia, Bulgaria for the EMF Euro Cup Champions League Masters. It's basically mini football, the biggest mini football competition in Europe. Of which many players, play internationally for their countries in World Cups and in European competitions there. And I had the opportunity to commentate on it. I have a little bit of commentary experience. I've been doing Braintree in the National League, which, fortunately enough, it goes on DAZN for about a year now. And I was contacted by a lecturer here at UCFB, Guy McRae. He set me up. He said, "We want you to apply for this opportunity out in Bulgaria. It doesn't mean you're going to get it, but with what you've done, and you have a bit of a chance." So I applied, and I was very fortunate enough to go out there and have actual paid working industry experience. It was fantastic. It was based in the basically the Bulgarian St George's Park. They call it the Bojana base out there, and teams from all over Europe. We're talking, obviously some Bulgarian teams, Romanian teams, Slovakian, Slovenia, Ukraine, all over the place. A lot of English teams as well. It's actually funny that earlier in the show you mentioned about the fire at Stansted. That actually affected one of the teams
Really?
from England
Oh, really?
getting there. They actually missed one of their games, went out in the group as a result of
Wow.
missing their first
Hopefully
game.
they got their money back.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
sued Stansted.
I know. So it's a huge shot. And these I was quite shocked in the sense of how much these teams took it seriously. It was a big thing for them, and the whole setup completely professional. Myself and a lot of other UCF. We had 2 other UCFB students, one graduate, Matt Cullingford, and Ben McCarthy, flew out with me from Stansted, and we had Max Toyer and Jake Toyer, 2 brothers who have been doing work for the EMF commentary channels for a number of years now, did the World Cup. So we were positioned on the sideline and with our commentary positions, and we did the 2 weeks out there, and it was an unbelievable experience. Not just for the actual environment and all that, but actually the experience. I mean, mini football is unlike anything you can imagine in terms of how quick the game goes. I landed back from Stansted on a Monday, and I commentated on Zone for Braintree on Saturday, and I was stunned because I was right next to the pitch in Bulgaria. Then I was back up in the gantry.
Yeah.
So far away, massive difference. But in terms of learning your delivery, the big moments, I mean, it meant everything for these teams, for these people, and you can see it in the celebration. To be able to deliver the commentary on those pictures is a massive skill improvement for me. So it was definitely something I'm very grateful for, something I'm proud of myself for, and I think we had that as well because we were, it wasn't as easy as you think. It's not easy to go on a live broadcast, and you do feel a little bit of nerves.
Yeah.
And both benches are sitting right next to you, and you're thinking you don't really want to say anything because just in case they're not happy with how you do it. But everyone was fantastic, and the experience was really, really good.
Perfect. Thanks, Liam. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Hopefully, everybody enjoyed the episode. And I do hope Forest beat Chelsea, but if we do, it'll make us all look like a bit of a tit, won't it? If you enjoyed
Hopefully
the
not.
podcast, make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe as well, and the notification bell to be notified when we upload. We'll be back for another podcast very soon. But until then, thanks for watching, and goodbye.